Hello? Can y'all hear me okay? I don't think you moved it too much. Ollie, you can't be moving stuff. Are you guys hearing any kind of feedback? You might be hearing feedback from the music. What is that noise? It's unacceptable. Oh yeah. You won't be able to use my chat unless you've been a follower for 10 minutes, and I did that because there are people that will come on here and they just want to say like creepy stuff. So I blocked the chat for anybody who has not been following for more than 10 minutes. So I'm asking you all questions as if you can respond, but you can't. Sorry about that. Thank you, Kylie, for letting me know that you can hear me. Is there feedback? Are you able to hear any feedback of the music? Or is it okay for me to have that playing? Ollie keeps moving the camera. Licking it's not going to undo it, Ollie. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Alan. I'm going to close Facebook now because it's making crazy noises. I'm going to give people about 4 more minutes and then we're going to get started. I'm going to do all the modified versions because I am struggling with a sinus infection, I assume is what it is. So for me to be able to speak and show you guys what I'm talking about, I'm going to have to do the easier versions. But y'all can feel free to turn it up, turn it down, whatever you need in order for the practice to work out better for you. But I'm going to give it about, like I said, 3 more minutes and then we'll get started. Oh man, Ollie's really moving the camera. Move. Move, Ollie. Move. boy. Alright, we'll get started. Turn this down for you. I'm going to keep my iPad close by so that I can see if you guys talk to me, but I won't really be able to respond until the end, so maybe I won't keep my iPad close to me. Let's see here, turn this down a little bit. Alright, so my name's Taylor if you don't know me. If you do know me, thank you for showing up again. This is going to be a power style vinyasa type class, but there's going to be a bit of a focus on grounding and like feeling yourself in this present moment. And we have an hour and a half, give or take, so I'm really going to spend a little bit of time doing some breathing and doing some of those grounding exercises. So bring yourself down into a seated position. And we'll get started. Maybe I should swallow this cough drop. Otherwise I might choke to death. So find yourself in a comfortable seat. You can be in crisscross applesauce or any other comfortable seated position that works out for you. Lift your spine tall. Pull your shoulders down and back. Lift your chin just enough that the back of your neck is in its proper anatomical alignment. Rest your hands on your lap, in your lap, whatever is most comfortable. Eyes open or closed. Just focus on your breathing. Is your breath in your chest? Is your breath down in your belly? Or if you're a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, is your breath in your mouth? Feel the weight of your body pressing into the floor beneath you. Feel where your feet are connected to the ground, where your ankles are crossed. Feel where your shins are in space, your knees, your thighs. Where in your glutes are you distributing more of your weight? Are you leaning further forward, almost like you're pressing forward into the future? Or are you leaning back, almost like you're hesitating in the past? Are you somewhere right in the middle? Or are you kind of fluctuating with a little bit of a rock forward and back? Just become aware of what your body is doing as you move up through your spine and belly. Become aware of your lungs inside of your rib cage and the movement of your rib cage with your breath. Tune into where your shoulders are. Try to keep them down away from your ears. Feel down through your arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, and fingers. Finally, bring your attention up through your neck, into your jaw. Unclench any tension you might be holding in your jaw. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Put space between your eyebrows if you're catching yourself furrowing your forehead. Stretch your forehead open, spine still tall. Lift your arms to the ceiling. Breathe in. As you exhale, place your right hand down on the floor to your right side. Reach your left fingers over to the right. You can look down, straight ahead, or up. Whatever is most comfortable on your neck, whatever is most comfortable in your spine. Inhale, center, lift both arms to the sky. Exhale, place your left hand down. Reach your right fingers over to the left side of the room. Again, you can look up, straight ahead, or down. No straining, no tension. We're trying to undo tension, you know. We're not trying to create new tension. Inhale, lift back to center. Reach your arms to the sky. Extend your legs to the front of your mat. Pull your toes back. Lift your spine. Breathe in. As you exhale, slowly fold yourself forward over your thighs. Not concerned about how flexible or inflexible you are this early on. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull your shoulder blades towards one another. Lift through your spine. Exhale, fold back in. One vertebrae at a time, reach your arms forward, slowly roll to your back. Once you touch the floor, happy baby pose. Grab onto the pinky toe sides of your feet. Pull your knees down to the outer edges of your ribs. Stay still or rock side to side. You can bend and straighten your knees. If you're an advanced practitioner, maybe you take your feet towards the floor behind you for plow pose. Just take a few breaths here. Checking in with what feels like what feels good, what feels tight, what feels like doo-doo, what feels like heaven. Bring the soles of your feet together. Reach under your ankles, grab behind your ankles. Start to rock and roll forward and back. Landing in Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees open wide, sit tall, breathe in, fold forward, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale, walk your hands over to the right. Exhale as you fold in. For a little bit more in this stretch, you can take your left hand to your left thigh. Gently push by rotating your left shoulder down towards the floor. I kind of look like a ghost. I need to figure out the lighting situation in here. I'm so white, I'm reflecting light. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, walk over to the left. Fold in. Again, stay in this direction, or for a little bit more, take your right hand to your right knee. And very gently press down and out, rotating your right shoulder down towards the floor. Check in with your breath. Are you holding your breath or are you breathing deeply? Halfway lift, breathe in. As you exhale, bring it back to center. Fold forward over your feet. One vertebrae at a time. Inhale, roll yourself up to seated. Extend your legs to the top of your mat, arms to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, one vertebrae at a time. Roll to your spine. Hug your knees to your chest and start to rock and roll forward and back. Take about 5 breaths doing this. So 5 breaths, inhaling and exhaling, rocking forward and back. And when you are ready, ragdoll at the top of your mat, feet hip distance apart or a little bit wider. Bend your knees, hold your own elbows, let yourself hang. You can sway side to side if that feels nice. Or if you would like, you can bend and straighten one leg at a time, shifting your hips side to side. But try not to be craning your neck and looking at the floor. Instead, drop the tension of your skull, release the tension in your neck, and let yourself just dangle. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release your hands to the floor. Halfway lift, pull your shoulder blades together. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, fold back into the floor. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg, reach your left arm to the sky. So again, that's right knee bent, left leg straight, left arm to the sky. And if the floor feels really far away for your right hand, bring your right elbow up onto your right thigh to create a little bit more space. Breathe in, reach tall. Breathe out, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale, pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your left knee. Straighten your right leg. Reach your right arm to the sky. Eyes to your right thumb. Again, if the floor feels far away, lift your left elbow onto your left thigh to create a little bit more space, a little bit more rotation and openness. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold, both hands to the floor. Halfway lift again, pull your shoulder blades together, just resetting your spine, resetting your shoulders. Exhale, fold. Toe heel your feet together so that your big toes are touching, a little bit of space between your heels. Roll yourself all the way to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Still breathing. Once you reach the top, inhale your arms and eyes to the ceiling. Exhale, draw your hands together at your heart. Now we're going to start to move. Inhale, reach up, look up, Tadasana. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, step your left foot to the back of your mat. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Inhale, arms to the sky. Now, if you're already feeling warm and spicy, you can keep your back toes tucked and keep your back knee lifted for crescent lunge. Otherwise, just take the stretch here. Take a big breath in. On your exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Hook your left elbow to your right knee. If you've got your thumbs up in your armpit, that's okay for now, but gradually over time, you want to press your thumbs towards your sternum. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears and create openness across your chest. So again, it's left elbow to right knee, right thigh. Inhale, arms go back up to the ceiling. Exhale, low push-up. Hands go down to the floor. Step your right foot back. You can keep your knees lifted or lower them down for chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, scoop your sternum forward for a back bend. Thighs down, elbows bent for cobra. Or thighs up, elbows straight for up dog. Tuck your toes, tuck your chin, downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths right here. Now in your downward facing dog, your feet can be touching or your feet can be apart. If your feet are together, that's going to be the most intense stretch you can get there. If your feet are a little bit apart, you're going to feel a little bit less tension. It's a little bit more reasonable. You can keep your legs straight or you can kind of pedal your feet almost like you're taking a walk. Check in. Are you breathing? Step your feet together. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Lift up to your left toes. Pull your right knee to your right tricep. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Rotate your left toes to the sky. Ninja squat. So your right toes turn from straight ahead from 12 o'clock, turn over to 11 o'clock. Hands on the floor or hands to heart center. Stay with your breath. And if you can't get low, if you're up here like this, that's okay. As long as you're feeling something, you're doing it. And as long as that something isn't pain, you're doing it right. If it is pain, back the hell off and stop doing something that causes you pain. There is a difference between pain and discomfort. Discomfort causes growth. Pain causes injury. Take one more big breath in. As you exhale, hands to the floor, step back, high push-up, down to low push-up. Inhale, back bend, cobra or up dog. Again, cobra, your thighs stay down, your elbows stay bent. Up dog, you straighten your elbows and lift your thighs. Tuck your chin, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Lift up to your toes, breathe in. Bend your knees, step, jump, walk, float, whatever you got. Feet to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time, Tadasana. Arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Starting it over, inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in, step your right foot to the back of your mat. Lower your right knee down, inhale, arms to the sky. Once again, if this is where you're feeling spicy already, keep your back toes tucked, keep your right knee lifted for crescent lunge, otherwise stay in the modification. Big breath in, exhale, hands to your heart. Right elbow to your left knee. And again, if your thumbs are up in your armpits, no problem. But gradually over time, you want to push down like you're driving your left hand into your right hand. Pull your sternum up to your thumbs and open across your chest. Breathe into your belly. Don't hold your breath. Back to center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, high push-up to low push-up. Step back and take it down. Use your knees if you need them. Inhale, back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths, pedal it out. Stay still. Whatever you need for your practice to feel best, I encourage you to take it. I can't even see you, so whatever you're doing, it's not going to hurt my feelings. For all I know, you're just sitting there eating a Hot Pocket, which actually sounds incredible right now. But just do what feels best for you right in this moment, not for what felt best yesterday or before we were in lockdown. I need you to do whatever you need to do to feel the best you can. Step your feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Lift up to your right toes. Pull your left knee, slow motion to your left elbow. Step your foot to the outside of your left hand. Ninja squat. Turn your right toes to the sky. Turn your left toes from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Hands to the floor or hands to heart center. Still breathing, deep in your belly. It's a good thing this is digital because I just realized your girl didn't put on deodorant this morning. Oh, good. Quarantine. This is great. Things are working out. Stay with your breath. Keep pressing through your left elbow into your left knee if you have your hands on the floor or at heart center. One more big breath in. As you exhale, rotate around, high push-up. Take it down to low push-up. Chaturanga. Inhale, back bend, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift up to your tippy toes. Bend your knees. Step, jump, walk, float. Bring your feet to the top of your hands or the top of your mat, whichever works out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up, Tadasana. Arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step your left foot to the back of your mat, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Now in this pose, you can still take the option of modification. That means your left knee can be lifted, or you can lower your left knee down to the floor. If your arms being lifted is a bit too much on your cardiovascular system, bring your hands to your heart or hands to your hips. Take a big breath in. Everybody twist, hands to your heart, left elbow to your right thigh. Eyes to the ceiling if it's comfortable in your neck, otherwise straight ahead or down, what feels best. Open up your arms, now slow motion, lift your back knee. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Right knee forward, left leg back. Right leg bent, left leg straight. Now your hips and your nips are going to face out to the side. Whatever direction you're open towards, hips and nips, take it that way. Arms go straight out into a T, eyes over your front middle finger. Inhale, straighten your right leg, reach your arms to the sky. Exhale, sink back down into it, warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two, reach forward, flip your right palm, peaceful warrior. Take it down, chaturanga. Use your knees if you need them. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Now, if you're watching, you might see that I'm taking breaks, and that's because I've got to talk while I do this, so I'm trying not to pass out. You're also welcome to take breaks whenever you need it. There is a pose here called child's pose, where you bring your big toes together, knees a little bit wider than your hips, and you place your forehead down on the floor. Now, that's a great option for you to take anytime you might be feeling a bit exhausted. From your downward facing dog, inhale your right leg to the sky. Lift up to your left toes. Pull your right knee to your right tricep. Ninja squat, step to the outside of your right hand. Left toes turn to the sky. Right toes turn from 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Hands to the floor or hands to your heart. Check in with your breath. Now, either using your hands or not, just depends on the strength and the stability of your legs. Shift over to the left, stay low. Good. Same thing, back over to the right. And if you've got a couple pops here and there, that's okay, as long as they're not painful pops. One more time, over to the left, stay low. Now on this side, if you would like, you can open up your arms or take a bind. A bind is when you reach your hands for each other behind you. So a half bind would be to take my right hand to my left hip. A full bind is around the front of my left shin. I reach for my own fingertips behind my left butt cheek. Eyes to the sky. From here, we're shifting into chaturanga. Straight ahead to the right. Step back, take it down. Back bend with your breath in. Down dog with your breath out. Lift up to your toes. Inhale. Sigh it out. Drop your heels to the floor. Take a few breaths. Reorient yourself. Now, some of y'all, if you take my class in person on Sundays, we do move a little bit faster and harder than this. And I know that that is not the same as what we're doing here. But I want to make this accessible to everyone. So if you know that you want to add more push-ups in between on these down dogs, take your push-ups. That's up to you, right? This is your yoga class even more than anything because you're home watching this on your computer. So add push-ups if you want to up the intensity. Take child's pose if you want to lower the intensity. Lift up to your tippy toes, breathe in. Bend your knees, step, jump, hop, walk, float, whatever you got to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Arms and eyes to the sky, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, crescent lunge, arms to the sky. Your right knee can be lifted or you can lower it down for that modification. Shoulders down away from your ears. Breathe. Hands to heart center, take a big breath in. Exhale, twist, right elbow, left thigh. Press your thumbs towards your sternum, pull your sternum towards your thumbs, look to the ceiling and breathe. Open up your arms. We're gonna windmill open into warrior two. Lift your back knee, inhale to lift. Exhale to rotate, right heel to the floor. Left leg bent, right leg straight. Arms out in a T, shoulders down and back. Inhale, straighten your left leg, lift your arms to the sky. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. One more time, inhale, lift. Exhale, sink, reach forward, flip your left palm, peaceful warrior. Take it down, chaturanga. High push-up, low push-up. Back bend, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Lift up to your toes, big breath in. Sigh it out, drop your heels. Ha. Step your feet together at the back of your mat. Inhale your left leg to the sky. Pull your left knee to your left tricep, squeeze in. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Ninja squat, toes to the sky on the right side. Left toes to 1 o'clock. Hands to your heart or hands to the floor. Follow your breath. Drink some water. Towel yourself off and get back in the game. Now with or without your hands, try to stay low. Shift over to the right. Like a Tim Burton character. Same thing, we're going back to the left. Stay low, shift low. Use your hands as much as you need to. That's what they're there for. We're going back over to the right. Stay low. Now on this side, if you'd like, you can open up your arms or take your bind. Wherever you are, breathe. From here, we're shifting to chaturanga on the left. Stay low, shift low, step back, high push-up, low push-up, back bend, downward facing dog, or child's pose. Take a second, breathe, and be like, you know what? Like, there's worse things you could be doing. I think. You could be diarrheal, which is worse than this, I think. Breathe. Now from here, we're gonna go into dolphin pose. If you don't want to do dolphin pose, you can instead hold a high plank or a forearm plank. But if you've never done dolphin before, it is basically downward facing dog on your elbows. So the way to get into it that I find to be easiest is when you go down into child's pose, place your elbows down on the floor. To measure the space, because you want your shoulders to be right over your elbows. So to measure that distance, fold your arms in. Your fingertips should just be able to reach the outside edges of your arms, just like this. If your fingertips can reach but cannot grab, that's the right distance. If they can grab, it's too close together. If they can't touch, it's too far apart. Forearms to the floor, hands shoulder distance apart, elbows shoulder distance apart. Tuck your toes, straighten your legs, hips to the ceiling. Eyes in between your elbows if you're in dolphin. Again, a forearm plank on your elbows, even on your knees. Anything is better than nothing. Walk your feet in. And if you are in dolphin pose, lift your left leg to the sky. Stay as you are or start to hop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three-legged down dog. Lift up onto your palms, left leg to the sky. Pull your knee over to your right elbow. Squeeze in, strong core. Take your left knee over to your left tricep. Squeeze in, strong core. Step back, high push-up, low push-up. Breathe in, back bend. Breathe out, down dog or child's pose. Take a second to breathe. Dolphin pose. Lower back down onto your elbows. Elbows, wrists, and hands shoulder distance apart. So you don't want to have your hands together like a prayer. Instead, hands, forearms, and elbows shoulder distance apart. You can be in your high plank, your elbow plank, or walk your feet in towards your elbows for dolphin. Eyes in between your elbows, right leg to the sky. Stay here or start to hop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Three-legged dog, right leg to the sky. Lift up to your left toes, pull your right knee over to your left tricep. Hold, strong core. Right knee over to your right tricep. Hold, strong core. Big breath in. Chaturanga. Back bend, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Lift up to your tippy toes, breathe in. Bring your feet to your hands, however you want to get there. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana, lift up, roll up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a big breath in through your nose. Sigh it out, ha. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, chair. So chair pose, you almost want to think like you're sitting down into one of those really awkward IKEA type chairs. So big toes together, knees together, heels about an inch apart, about the width of your thumb, or a little bit bigger, but not any bigger than an inch. So knees together, ankles together. Lift your spine up, sink your hips down. So you don't want to be like this. Lift your chest up. Lower your shoulders down away from your ears. Sink your hips. Now peel your toes off the ground if you're able. Keep breathing down into your tummy. Feel where your weight is distributing in your feet. Feel what emotions are coming up as you sink lower down into your chair. There's no wrong emotions, like chair pose pisses me off. So if you're in this and you're like, ugh, I don't like chair pose, don't cheat yourself, sink lower. Arms reach forward. Lift up to your tippy toes, iron footstool. Sink your hips down to 90 degrees with the floor. And from there, start to pulse. Lift and lower above 90 degrees. 5, 4, 3, 2, boat pose. Sit down. Lift your legs. Take a second to catch up with your breath. Oh, God. It's been a while since I taught and practiced at the same time. I'm sweating profusely. So here in boat pose, a lot of times you'll see people really straining to get their legs straight, and then their back is round and their shoulders are lifted and it looks like they're really uncomfortable. So instead, in your boat pose, set your hips flat down. Lift your spine straight up. Lift your legs. I keep my knees bent. Feels better. It's a little bit easier. Feels better. I prefer it. From here, if this is enough and you're feeling already like this is a burn in your core, stay where you are. If you want a little bit more, start to pedal your feet. This is going to really test my ability to talk and move. If you want more from here, start to alternate elbows. If you want more from here, start to lower, lift, lower, lift. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees to your chest. Take a deep breath in and let it go. I wish I had a demonstrating model, but Richie said no. He's behind the camera. I asked if he would demonstrate and he said no. And so now I'm dying and he's giggling about it. It's not right. It's not fair. I said, oh, Richie, it would be really helpful. Oh, please, sir, if you could please demonstrate. And he said, never. Hugging your knees to your chest, start to rock and roll forward and back. After you've gathered up some momentum, chair pose. See if you can catch it on one go. If not, don't worry. It's not a competition, and it's not about who can be the most graceful. There's a frickin' woodpecker pecking wood on the side of my house. That's not wood. That's aluminum. It's aluminum. Chair pose. Sink a little bit lower down. Lift your chest a little bit higher up. Rotate your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a big breath in. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Take it back, chaturanga. You can step, jump, or walk. As you land, take it to low push-up. Back bend on your breath in. Down dog on your breath out. Step your feet together at the back of your mat. Right leg lifts to the ceiling. Inhale. Lift up to your left toes. Pull your right knee to your right tricep. Then cross your right knee over to your left tricep. Kick your right foot out, pinky toe to the floor. Left arm to the sky. Fall in triangle. Big breath in. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, right leg up. Bend your right knee. Rotate your right knee to the sky. Stay here. Lower to your left forearm. Or flip your dog by gently rotating. Slowly step your right foot to the floor. And elevate your hips to the sky. Untwist, right hand to the floor, right leg to the sky. Pull your right knee to your forehead, step between your hands. Crescent lunge. Inhale your arms to the sky.
Now in crescent lunge, your back heel is lifted above your toes. It's not pushing back and it's not rotating down. Stack your left heel over the ball of your left foot. To modify, lower your left knee down to the floor. Just like before, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hands to your heart, left elbow, right thigh. Elongate your spine. With each breath in, lengthen your spine. With each breath out, fine-tune the posture, whether that be externally or internally, fine-tune it. So shoulders back, shoulder blades together, thumbs closer to your sternum. Open up your arms, inhale to lift, exhale, warrior two. Turn your back heel down. Right leg is bent, left leg is straight. Just like before, hips and nips. Square off with the front of the room or the side of the room, whatever you're facing. Arms out at a T. Inhale, lift. This time, keep your right leg straight. Tilt your hips towards the back wall. Left hip tilts back. Right fingers to your right shin. Left arms to the sky. Now try not to place your right hand on your right knee. You don't even want your right knee locked out. You want it a little bit loosey-goosey. Pull your left rib cage back. Pull your right rib cage out from under you. Reach your left fingers to the front of your mat. Bend your right knee, side angle pose. Your right elbow can stay on your right thigh. You can reach your right fingers for the floor, or you can bind. Shoulder blades together behind you. Breath deep. If you've got Bird of Paradise, you can take Bird of Paradise. If you're like, what the F is Bird of Paradise? You have to first have this bind. You look to your right foot, step forward. There you stand up. So this is modified Bird of Paradise, or this is modified Bird of Paradise. If you're standing and you've got the bind, right leg straight, Bird of Paradise. Not an expectation, just an option. I know some of y'all have practiced yoga for a long time. Some of y'all are like, I'm just doing this because I was on Twitch and this is what I saw and it seemed like a weird thing to watch. From wherever you are, bring yourself back into side angle pose. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Take it down, chaturanga, low push-up. Use your knees. What a great thing knees are. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift up to your tippy toes, breathe in. Bend your knees, bring your feet to your hands, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up, Tadasana. Exhale, chair. Peel your toes up. Sink your hips down. Chest up. Shoulders away from your ears. Reach your arms to the front of your room. Lift up to your tippy toes. Sink down, low and slow. Take it down until you are all the way back to boat. Boat pose, Navasana. Low boat pose. Lower your head and shoulders, hands to the floor. Walk your feet heel toe to the sky. Once your legs reach 90 degrees, lift your hips 2 inches and hold. Then just like this, pulse your hips to the sky. Try not to bring your knees up towards your nipples. Press your knees away from your nipples. Your nipples are a really good judge of where your body is in space in yoga. Hipples and nipples. Hips and nips. Last 3, 2, 1. High boat. Low boat. Starting with your opposite foot, lower your head and shoulders, walk your feet to 90. Once your legs are at 90, lift and hold 2 inches, then turn your toes left and right. Try to hit your wrists with your butt cheeks. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug your knees to your chest. Take a big breath in. Let it go. Hugging your knees, rock and roll forward and back. Gather up your own momentum, and when you're ready, chair pose. Hold your chair. Woodpecker, get out of here. Stop pecking my wood. Chair pose, sink down. Sink down, chest up. Take a big breath in. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Bring it back, high push-up. Low push-up. Back bend, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Step your feet together, lift your left leg to the sky. Pull your left knee to your left tricep. Cross over to your right tricep. Kick your left foot over to the right, pinky toe to the floor. Right arm to the sky, reach up. Pull your shoulder blades together behind you. Fallen triangle is the name of this pose. Big breath in. Right hand down, left leg to the sky. Bend your left knee, rotate your knee to the ceiling. Stay here, lower to your right elbow, or very slow, flip your dog. We are going to get to stretching soon, so don't you worry about it. Untwist, left leg to the sky. Lift up to your right toes, left knee to your forehead, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Stay as you are or lower your right knee down. And remember, this is like an intermediate advanced practice. So if you're like, what the hell is this? I will be offering beginner style classes as well. This is just the normal class I teach on Sunday mornings, so I wanted to give that opportunity. But don't count this out, okay? I'm going to keep posting other videos. This isn't the only way I teach. Draw your hands together at heart center. Take a big breath in. Hook your right elbow to your left thigh. Press your thumbs towards your sternum. And breathe deep into your tummy. Open up your arms. As you inhale, you lift. As you exhale, settle down, warrior two. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Hook your right hip towards the back of your room. Lean forward, left fingers to your left shin or left thigh, or a block if you've got a block. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Pull your right rib cage back. Pull your left rib cage through. Right arm up. Reach your right fingertips over your right ear. Bend your left knee. Side angle pose. I like to have my left elbow on my left thigh. I can physically touch the floor, but I don't think that feels good. It makes me feel like my body's closing in on itself. So instead I put my left elbow up on my left thigh to give myself so much more space to rotate. If you've got a half bind, a full bind, or bird of paradise, go for it. Return to side angle pose. On your inhale, lift up, peaceful warrior. On your exhale, take it down, chaturanga. Back bend, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Lift up to your tippy toes, inhale. Bring your feet to your hands, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Tadasana, stand all the way up. Hands to heart center, exhale. This is where we're gonna start some balancing stuff before we start our stretching stuff. But then we're sitting down, we're stretching, and then we're doing some Shavasana. We're almost there, y'all. So hands to your hips or hands to your heart, whatever is easiest, whatever is most comfortable for you. Bring your right heel to the inside of your left ankle just to start. So this is a modified tree pose. Right heel to the inside of your left ankle. If you have maybe inner ear issues or if you've got any kind of problems with balance, this is a good place to start and practice. If this feels a little bit wobbly but not super wobbly, but you couldn't go further, practice closing your eyes in this position. For a bit more in tree pose, bring your right foot up to your left calf. Not your left knee, but your left calf. If you want to go a little bit higher than that, bring your right heel up towards your groin. You just want to get above your knee. That damn woodpecker's pecking my wood. Stay here. You can open your arms out, up. You can tilt, or you can arm balance by crossing your right ankle onto your left thigh. Your hands touch down to the floor. Right toes hook your left tricep. Right knee stacks on top of your right tricep. From there you rock forward. Pull your left heel to your left glute, and over time that left leg lifts and extends. Over time. If you're here and you're just enjoying your happy little tree pose, yes, that is a Bob Ross reference, you're fine. This is perfect. Breathe. Lift your left arm to the sky. We're moving into dancer's pose. So take your right hand to the inside of your right big toe. Just like tree pose, if this is where you stay, this is still dancer's pose. If you want a bit more, bring a little bit of a bend into your left knee. Kick into your right hand. Push your sternum towards the front of your mat. Left arm reaching towards the front of the room. Desperately, like, somebody please get me out of this. Oh, that's cramping my butt cheek. How are y'all feeling? Big breath in. Slow motion, lower your left fingers down to the floor. Right fingers, right leg to the sky. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Big breath in. Ragdoll, just like the beginning of class. Feet hip distance apart. Hold on to your own elbows. Drop the weight of your skull. And breathe. Drop the weight of your head. Sway if you want to sway. Be still if that feels better. Release your hands to the floor. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold forward. Toe heel your feet together. One vertebrae at a time. Roll yourself up to standing, Tadasana. Arms and eyes to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Opposite side, tree pose. Left heel to the inside of your right ankle. If you did the opposite the other side, that's okay. Just do the opposite this side. Tree pose. And just like before, you can grow this posture as much as you want. That means you can bring your foot up to your calf. You can bring your foot up into your groin. You can take that arm balance variation where you go into a figure four, cross your shin across your triceps, lift up into your hands, fly. Arms here, 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 here. Whatever you want. Breathe. God, I'm so white. I'm like a glowing orb of just whiteness. My pants are vibrant. You guys can see me only because of my pants against the black background and the silhouette of my ghostly figure on my black rock climbing wall. We're gonna slowly move into dancer's pose. Left hand to the inside of your left foot. Right arm to the sky. Now you can stay here. This is dancer's pose as much as anything else. If you would like more, gently bend your right knee. Kick into your left hand. Start to push your sternum towards the front of your room. As much as you are leaning forward, you are kicking and pulling simultaneously to protect your knee, to protect your spine, and to keep your core strong. Slow motion Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Left fingers, left leg to the sky. Right fingers to the floor. Take a big breath in. Ragdoll. Feet hip distance apart. Drop your upper body over your thighs. A really nice alternative for this posture is, if you want, you can interlace your fingers behind you and drop your knuckles overhead. Release your hands to the floor, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, sit down. Nothing fancy, just sit. Take a second to towel off. Drink some water. Reevaluate every life choice you've ever made. So here we are in seated. We're gonna start working on that stretching options, the stretching stuff, which is a really great relief for me because I am officially out of breath. From this position, from a seated position, crisscross applesauce, keep your left ankle folded in, extend your right leg out to the right. So your left knee is bent. Left heel is close to your groin. Right leg is out on a diagonal or straight out to the side if you've got a lot more hip openness. Place your hands behind you, or one hand in front, one hand behind, whatever is easiest for you to get a lift. Lift your hips and tuck your tailbone out behind you, like you're trying to touch your perineum to the floor, and your perineum is the space between your front bits and your back bits. So lift up, tilt, and place your perineum closer to the floor. Or perineum, depends on how you say it, I don't know. Sit up tall as you breathe in. As you breathe out, fold straight forward. So you're not folding over your right leg. You're folding over your left heel. So this is called gate pose. This is a variation of gate pose. If your left knee is cooperative and not injured in any way, you can flip your left heel behind you. Take your left knee out on a diagonal to the left. Same thing, you want to place your perineum on the floor, so like a little bit of a pelvic tilt, and then you fold forward from there. Another alternative for those of you who are very flexible and do this all the time, you can extend your left leg out and take a straddle split. Same thing. I personally like the first option the best. Because none of this is like a competition. It doesn't matter what looks the coolest. I know some of y'all might have heard this story, but I have known some people who were just like Cirque du Soleil flexible. Incredible, can put their feet behind their head, in down dog. It's the craziest stuff I've ever seen. But you know what? They were some of the craziest people I've ever met. I've met some really wonderful, flexible people as well, but the point is, your ability to do these postures doesn't make you a better or worse person. Who are you showing up as right here in this moment? Who do you show up as on a day-to-day basis? That's what determines if you're a good person, not whether or not you can touch your toes or put your foot behind your head or look so serene like you're going to be photographed for the frickin' cover of Yoga Journal. None of that matters. How are you feeling? How are you thinking? How are you behaving? Breathe. Walk your hands in. We're staying in this shape for now. Place your right hand on the inside or outside of your right shin. Reach your left arm over to the left, up and over your left ear, towards your right toes. Now again, the point is not to touch your right toes. Do you see how that rotates my left rib cage down? Instead, you want to keep your left rib cage open. So again, hips and nips pointing in the same direction. Peel your chest open. Reach over your left ear like you're trying to go past your right toes. Inhale, sit up. Left hand to the floor. Right hand to the sky. Lift onto your left shin. Back bend. Slowly lower yourself down, cross your right knee in, and take a second for your legs to get reintegrated into your body. A couple of deep centering breaths. Feel the weight of your body pressing into the floor. Feel the lifting of your spine towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Right ankle stays crossed in. Extend your left leg out to the left. Same as before. Now, if you already know that your right leg is very cooperative, you don't have any knee injuries, you don't have any hip injuries, you can go ahead and flip your right heel behind you right away. If you know that you're going into a straddle split, go into your straddle split right away. Place one hand in front of you, one hand behind you, or both hands behind you, wherever you get the best grip. Lift your hips, pelvic tilt, perineum to the floor. Sit up tall as you breathe in. As you breathe out, fold forward over your right heel. And if you feel your left butt cheek really lifting up, like if you feel like this cheek is coming up off of the ground for you to fold forward, instead, keep your cheeks grounded to the floor. Don't let your cheekies lift. Keep those little cheekies kissing the earth. And if you really want to get intimate, you pull those little cheekies apart a little bit and let something else kiss the earth. Time out. Cut that. Whatever. You know, my producers. Find your breath. Feel your body weight on the floor. And feel yourself in this present moment right now. Try to remove those layers of facetiousness and sarcasm to answer the question of what are you feeling? So it's not just, oh, well, I feel a stretch. It's what are you feeling? What is this stretch bringing up in your brain space? What noise comes in? And don't judge it. Don't belittle or berate yourself for having it. Just become aware. What thoughts are passing through your skull? Are those thoughts helping you move forward towards the person you're working on being? Or are those thoughts holding you in the same place that you have been? Are you happy with where you are, or are you trying to work on changing? You know, these are all things that we have to ask ourselves as we move through these stretches, as we move through this practice. Walk your hands in. Left hand goes to the inside or outside of your left shin. Reach your right arm over to the right. Take a big inhale breath. On your exhale breath, lean over to the left. Reach your right fingers beyond your left toes. Keep your right rib cage pulling back, your left rib cage pulling towards your computer or whatever you're facing. Breath still deep in your belly. Inhale, sit up. Bend your left knee. Find your way back into a seated position. Hands rest in your lap. Spine tall. Breathe. What's coming up? What are you experiencing? If you're a very type A person and you're like, Taylor, you missed the back bend on the other side, you can kick your left leg out and take that back bend. I forgot it. If you want it, go for it. I'm not trying to upset anybody's personality types here. But once you feel like you're all balanced left and right, come back to center. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Place your hands behind you, extend your legs out, and give yourself a little shaky. Nothing aggressive, just a little shake. I like to walk my hips out from underneath me. It makes me feel less wobbly. From here, we're gonna go into a hip stretch. I'm gonna give you guys several options, starting from the one that is most manageable, no matter how inflexible you may be. So the first option is reclined half pigeon pose. You can start leaning on your elbows, or you can start laying all the way back. It's up to you. The starting option, now if you're here and you're like, I already know what hip stretch I want to do. Double pigeon, cow face, half pigeon, your choice. But if you're like, I don't know anything about any of this, the most basic pigeon stretch is right ankle onto your left thigh. If you've got very tight hips, this might be enough. You can add a little bit of extra pressure by pushing on your right thigh. If you would like a little bit more, grab hold of your left thigh and pull your left femur in towards your spine while still having your right knee push away from your chest. So this is reclined half pigeon pose. Now, if you would like something a little bit more intense than reclined half pigeon pose, your option is double pigeon. So from your seated position, bring your left heel in towards your right glute. Cross your right ankle to the outside of your left knee. Allow your right knee to come down towards the floor. The further in towards your right hip your left heel is, the less intense this posture will be. The more you kick your left toes towards the front of your mat, the more intense this posture will be. You don't want to go beyond your shins parallel with each other. If you're in double pigeon, you can stay seated or you can fold forward. The last option is cow face pose. So you would start here in double pigeon, Grab your ankles, so left hand to right ankle, right hand to left ankle, cross your knees. So left knee directly on top of your right knee, heels towards your glutes. To intensify this posture, gradually your feet kick forward. You can stay seated upright or fold in this pose as well. One final piece of information before I start my official timer. If you would like, you can do the arm bind variation, whether you are in double pigeon or cow face pose. The option is, if your right leg is on top, you reach your left arm to the sky. Left hand goes down between your shoulder blades, right hand to your left elbow. So that's one option. Your next option is to take your right hand behind you and reach for your left fingertips. You can hold that bind as long as you want. You can fold forward, release it, whatever feels best. I'm starting my timer. That means that we're still in this pose. That means that no matter how much your legs are screaming, "What are you doing to me? I thought we were friends." You breathe. The thing with stretching is you have these mechanisms inside of all of your muscles and tendons that are there specifically to protect your muscles and tendons. So this tightness is really your body trying to protect you from being injured. But the issue is when your body becomes overprotective, when your body gets too tight, you start to have injuries as well from lack of range of motion. So what we're aiming for is not flexibility, we're aiming for range of motion. And the difference is flexibility is the ability to put your foot behind your head. Range of motion is the ability for you to be in a squat and to get down into a 90-degree position for your squats in the gym. Range of motion is being able to lift back out of that. Range of motion is the ability for you to fall down without dislocating something. So we're not working on flexibility as much as we're working on that range of motion. Range of motion is healthy and utilized in everyday life. Flexibility just looks cool and only gets you further ahead if you're something like a ballerina, a gymnast. Even gymnasts are strong, so like a ballerina who are also strong. But the point being, don't worry if you're tight. From wherever you are, lift yourself up to seated. Extend your legs out in front of you. Shake it off. Bend your right knee. Take your left hand to your right pinky toe. Left hand, right pinky toe. Place your right hand behind you. Lift your right heel. Start to kick your right foot over to the left. Stay looking straight ahead or start to look over your right shoulder. Archer's pose. Bend your right knee. Take your peace fingers on your right hand. Grab hold of your right big toe. I'm going to scoot closer so y'all can see. So peace fingers, right big toe. Pull your right knee back. If you feel fine here, if you feel balanced, start to push up through your spine. If you feel still balanced, take your left peace fingers, reach for your left big toe. See, we're archers. Get it? This is like your bow and arrow. Stay with your breath. Holding on with your right hand, release your left foot, kick your right leg, your arrow forward. Left hand behind you to maintain the length of your spine. Breath still deep in your belly. With your left hand behind you, lower down onto your left elbow. Rotate onto your left hip and start to pull your right toes over your right ear. In theory. Now, if you're here and you can maintain it without holding on, you can wrap your right arm behind your right leg. So this is a modified bird of paradise. Bring your right peace fingers back up to your right big toe if you let it go. Rotate to your back, bend your right knee as much as you need to. If you cannot quite reach your big toes with your peace fingers, grab onto your calf or hamstring. If you have a t-shirt, a strap, a towel, a belt, a necktie, you can wrap that over your right foot and hold onto the strap instead. And if your leg is trembling like mine is, that's okay. That's, again, those mechanisms that are in place to protect your muscles and tendons from ripping off of your bones. What are you giggling about? Bend your right knee, using your right leg for momentum. Press yourself up to seated. We're going to do all of that on the left side, and then we're going to take Shavasana. Cool? So again, you have your options. Reclined half pigeon pose. That's left ankle onto your right thigh. Lie down on your back. You can stay here and press your left knee forward. You can hug your right femur towards your spine. Stay as you are if this feels like enough, or rock yourself up to seated. Double pigeon is another option. That would be right heel close to your left glute. Left ankle stacks on top of your right thigh with your foot facing the right. You don't want the sole of your foot facing the ceiling. Face the sole of your foot to the right. Shins work towards being stacked. If that works for you, you can stay seated upright, fold forward, or grab your ankles, slide into cow face pose. If you're in cow face, the arm bind variation, if you want it, your left leg is on top, so your right arm goes up. Left hand can go either to your right elbow, or left hand can reach behind you for your right fingertips. Maintain that bind as long as you want, if you want. Stay up or fold forward. And I will be staying after a little bit if anybody has any questions about any of the stretches we did. So if you've got any pressing questions in your brain, don't feel like I'm going to just abandon you. I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to ask whatever questions you need. So let yourself let go of all of that right now. Let yourself just be present. I'm listening to The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and I'm using that for my daily meditations. And one thing he said in my listening yesterday was, we can become addicted to constant thinking. We become addicted. We start to feel like it's stronger than us. We start to feel like we wouldn't be alive without it. Like there's even that saying, I think, therefore I am, which is a fallacy if you consider meditation, where we're working towards not thinking. We're letting go of the attachment to thought. And meditators become the ultimate I am when they reach enlightenment, right? So I think, therefore I am can be a fallacy if you're considering it in the context of meditation. So as you sit here, and as you breathe, let's start to try to unbind that addiction to consistent thinking, to constant thinking. And we do that by just allowing ourselves to be with our breath, no matter what that looks like. If you catch yourself being judgmental or cruel to yourself for what you're thinking or experiencing, that's your ego trying to keep you the same as you are. So we're trying to push through that ego, push through that thought process, and just be. Walk your hands in. Extend your legs out in front of you. Shake it off a little bit. Bend your left knee. Left hand goes behind you. Right peace fingers right hand grabs your left pinky toe. Kick your left foot across your body to the right. Stay as you are, looking forward if this is a bit too intense. If you want a little bit more, rotate, look over your left shoulder. Press into your left hand to keep your spine tall. Stay present in your breath. Check in, are you pushing and squeezing your tongue up against the roof of your mouth? Can you relax that? Are you able to relax your forehead? I find the harder I hold on to a thought, the harder I squeeze my face into consternation. And then you end up having to pay like a lot of money in Botox later, right? So like, release the consternation. Free yourself from fillers. Bend your left knee. Take your left peace fingers to your left big toe. From here, we're going into that archer's pose. Right hand behind you. Pull your left knee back. As you feel like you've got your balance here and your stretch here, press into your right hand. Lift your spine a little bit taller. If you can go a little bit further from here, you take your right peace fingers to your right big toe. Again, this is archer's pose. Think Legolas. Think Link from Legend of Zelda. Robin Hood. Who else is an archer? Daryl from Walking Dead uses a crossbow, so not quite the same, but thank you, Richie. From here, you're going to shoot your left leg forward, place your right hand down on the floor behind you. Heron pose. And that is heron like the bird, not Karen like my mom or the woman who wants to speak to the manager. My mom is not that type of Karen. I love you, Mom. Still holding onto your left big toe, lower down onto your right elbow. Oh yeah, Merida from Disney. I've never seen that movie. Rotate onto your right hip. Kick your left leg up towards the ceiling and start to pull your toes over your left ear. The camera might move, that's because Ollie's on the move. I think he forgot we were here. Oh, there he goes. He is done. He has had it. Bye, Ollie. If you're here and you're feeling up to it, you can cross your left arm in front of your left thigh and take a sideways modified bird of paradise. From here, we're going to roll to our back. You can grab back onto your big toe with your peace fingers. You can grab onto your calf or your hamstring. Roll to your back. Hug your left thigh towards your chest. Head and shoulders to the floor. And again, if you've got a strap, a t-shirt, a towel, you can hook that over your left foot and use that to hold you down or to hold your leg in place. Don't let it hold you down. Don't let nothing hold you down. But you hold onto your foot using that t-shirt, strap, or towel, and that kind of alleviates some of the stress of having to use your arms. And I am all about working smarter instead of harder. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, hug both knees to your chest. You can go back into happy baby if you like happy baby. Again, that's grabbing onto the pinky toe sides of your feet. Pull your knees down towards the outer edges of your ribs. If you know plow pose, you can lift your legs into the air and reach your toes to the floor behind you. I personally don't take plow pose that often, not in the traditional sense. Plow pose in the traditional sense, you get way up high onto your shoulders and a little bit onto your neck, and you push your feet to the floor behind your head. For me, that's too much pressure on my neck, and I don't see a point in putting pressure in my neck. I don't do headstand, I don't do any of that stuff. So, an alternative to plow pose that is still basically plow, you grab hold of your calves, and you pull your shins towards your face instead. So you see my hips are only lifting a little bit. This is the alternative to lifting way up, and I'm not going to go because I just told y'all I don't like to put pressure in my neck, but you go way up and then way back so that your toes are touching the floor. I don't see a point to that. You want a lower back stretch with a little bit of hamstrings? This is more than enough. Take a big breath in here. Exhale, roll yourself down. Place your feet on the floor, lift your knees to the sky. Squeeze your glutes, bridge pose. We're only going to do one back bend, but we're going to hold this for about a minute. If you would like to engage deeper and lift higher, you can place your hands by your ears, elbows to the sky, and roll up into wheel. If you want to stay here and bridge, this is a perfectly good option. Or you can lower your hips down to the floor, place the soles of your feet together, and take Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Soles of your feet together, knees opening. A few more breaths in your back bend. Take a big inhale breath. Exhale, lower yourself down. Allow your knees to windshield wipe side to side. Hug your right knee to your chest, drop your left leg, scoot your hips about 1 inch over to the right, twist, right knee to the left, eyes to the right. Changing the music to something a little bit more relaxing. Bring yourself back to center. Hug your left knee to your chest. Scoot your hips about 1 inch over to the left. Twist. Left knee over to the right. Eyes over to the left. This might have been better lighting the whole time, and I had no idea. Now I know for next time, y'all. Twist left knee over to the right, eyes over to the left. Breathe deep into your belly. Lift back to center, hug your knees to your chest, give yourself a tight little squeeze. Take a big, deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out, relax your body into Shavasana. Release all tension in your feet. Release all tension in your ankles. Relax your calves.
Untense your knees. Breathe openness into your thighs and glutes, your hips. Feel the length and strength of your spine as you surrender your back into the floor. Your shoulders, your upper arms, your forearms, wrists, and hands. Unclench your jaw, let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. Relax your forehead. Close your eyes. Surrender. As you lay here, remember that this is what it is all about. So many people rush away from Shavasana because being still is hard. Being quiet is hard. Being on your own is hard. But if we practice stillness, if we practice turning ourselves inward and learning to love the person we are and to care for the person we are in each moment, it becomes easier. It becomes safe. So rather than rushing out of this moment, stay and breathe. Surrender. Let go. Really gently, if you're ready to move, allow your head to roll from side to side. Feel your breath getting deeper, more intentional. One finger, one toe at a time, start to move until eventually you start to roll at your wrists and ankles, opening and closing your palms of your hands, the palms of your feet. You can stay here in Shavasana if you would like, or roll onto your right side into fetal position. Bringing awareness back into your breath, back into your body. Back into this present moment. Now, if you'd like to stay here in fetal position, absolutely stay in fetal position.
If you would like, lift yourself up to seated. Take a few deep breaths. Cleansing breaths. Now, our yoga practice is extremely symbolic in the sense that we start slow, we start small, infantile. As we move deeper into this power practice, we slowly amplify the difficulty and the intensity until we peak. And then we slowly decline until we end up in Shavasana, corpse pose. From corpse pose, we're reborn in fetal position, ultimately lifting back up into this infantile state of being, reborn. Making a symbolic evolution through rebirth, right? Like, we get to choose now who we are reborn as after our yoga practice. Because every moment we can choose to be reborn, but this is like a really powerful moment to decide, when I step away from my yoga practice today, when I step off of my mat, who am I going to be? Who am I going to show up as for myself? Who am I going to show up as for the people around me that I love? How am I going to show up for the people around me that I don't really love or don't really care for? Because we can choose to stay stuck, or we can choose to push forward. Thank you all so much for being here and for choosing to tune in and for participating or just for watching, whatever you chose to do. I hope that you took something from it. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to be posting more class schedules as I figure out what people are wanting. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I love you. Namaste. If you have questions, I'll be here. Just type them in the chat. If you don't have Twitch and therefore cannot comment, you can always message me on Instagram or Facebook. Thank you guys. Thank you, John. Hey, Wah. Kylie, thank you. Sparta, thank you for subscribing. Dragonmon. Yeah, this is not a beginner's class. I tried to make sure that that was clear, but I probably could have made an announcement at the beginning. Hey, Shirley, good morning. Well, if nobody's got any questions, oh, thank you, Wah. Thanks for subscribing. If nobody's got any questions, then I will see y'all later.
the stream. Oh god. Bye guys.